Flexy movement. Today's session is a functional hip mobility session. So we're going to keep it quite short and sweet. We're going to keep it fairly simple, but I will offer quite a few progressions through this as well. So if you feel like you need to spice it up a little bit, if you want to make some progression with your hip mobility sequences, then yeah, this is the class for you. Or if you are a beginner wanting to increase flexibility and mobility in your hips, this can be a good one for you too. So we'll offer beginner all the way through to advanced. Okay. And if there's anything that I offer that you're like, no, that's not for me today, then we can just sub it out, choose something else. We never want pain. Some discomfort in this kind of work is or can be normal. But if there's ever any like shooting pain, especially in the knees when we're working with the hips, just please feel free to pull back and to choose something different. Okay, so we're gonna start lying on our back. And I do invite you to have blocks if you have them. That can sometimes make postures a little bit easier or less intense. And we're going to start in supine butterfly. So placing the soles of the feet together and just letting the knees fall out. And you choose here whether you have the heels closer to the groin, a little bit further away. Choose what feels nicest for your body in this moment. We can have the arms down by the side, we can have them outstretched, or we can have one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. We can let the eyes close and we can spread the shoulder blades on our mat. And we're just going to take a moment here to deepen the breath. Nice, long, full inhales. And slow exhales. And in this shape, just starting to invite some space into this area of the hips, which can often be I don't want to say problem area, but it can often be a tight and tense area for a lot of us, especially if we spend a lot of time sitting. I'm just going to start to invite some space. Helping the body to feel safe when we just focus on lengthening out the breath, slowing down the heart rate, taking a moment to rest and slow down. And take 2 more breaths here. Breathing into the belly, the ribs, all the way up to the chest. Letting yourself completely empty on the exhales. Last breath. And breath out. Good, and then hands fall to the side. Just taking some rocks of the knees, so still staying in this supine butterfly position, just taking some rocks of the knees side to side. So one knee to the ceiling and then the other, just a gentle rock here. Beautiful, and then placing the hands underneath the thighs, letting the knees come up towards the ceiling, hugging the knees in towards the chest and giving them a squeeze. Pressing the lower back down in towards the mat and just giving yourself a rock from side to side. Nice, then we're going to start off with a happy baby here, which is always an interesting shape to start with, because we often end with happy baby and it can feel nice and relaxing, but when we start, we're quite tight, it can feel a little bit edgy. So either taking the hands to the outsides of the legs and just gently pulling the knees down towards the ground or towards the armpit. If you know that you've got a little bit more space in the hips, then take the hands around the outsides of the feet. And again, just a gentle sway from side to side. Pulling those knees down in the direction of the ground. And feeling a nice massage of the lower back against the floor. Staying with our breath throughout all of these shapes, all of these movements. Nice, then release the feet. Place the left sole of the foot on the floor and the right ankle against the left thigh. Spread the arms out nice and wide. Press that right knee away, not using the hands, just using the mind-muscle connection. And then using your left foot as a pivot, we'll just knock side to side with the knees. So keeping the upper back nice and stable on the floor and just knocking side to side, keeping this supine pigeon shape. There's a little massage as well for the belly here. Good, and you don't have to keep moving, if there's a point that you want to just stay for a few breaths, please feel free. Or if you want to keep it fluid, keep it flowing, I'll just continue this side to side. Lovely, coming back to centre, threading the right hand through between the gap. Left hand comes behind the hamstring, clasp the hands and then straighten through this left leg just as much as we can, and then again bend. So straighten through the left leg, and bend. Go for 3 more here. Trying to pull the knees closer towards the body if that feels okay. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Okay, listen carefully. We'll take the right knee and stack it on top of the left knee. So the left knee is underneath. I taught this in class the other day and all our knees were all over the place. So right knee is stacked on top of the left. And then we're going to lift the shoulders and press the lower back into the floor in order to grab hold of the little toe sides of both feet. And then try and relax the shoulders and the head down towards the ground. Pull the feet out and then towards the ground. So out and down is the direction that we want to pull the feet. And you might feel it in the right hip or the right glute. Breathing easy for 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Release the feet. Nice. And then just give the legs and the arms a little freestyle movement, whatever you feel like you need. Good. Let's take it to the opposite side. So the right foot plants, left ankle against the right thigh. Spread the arms. Right foot acts as the pivot and coming side to side. Again, I taught this in class the other day, and every time that I said the word pivot, it just made me think of the Friends episode. Pivot, and if you've seen that, then you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And you'll probably have a little smile on your face. And if you haven't seen it, then you will have no idea. So just go with it. Good, and notice, really be curious here about the 2 sides of the body and how they may feel even subtly different. Nice, come back to center, thread the left hand through between the gap, clasp in front of the hamstring, keep a little flex of that left foot, and then straighten and bend this right leg. If that feels like a helpful action to do, if it feels like it's far too tight or far too sore, just back off a little bit and maybe don't straighten quite as much. Okay, last 2. And last one. Nice, bend the knees. And then shimmy this left knee over the right knee. So we're in a supine cow face or gomukhasana in yoga speak. And then lift up through the shoulders, through the head to take hold of the little toe sides. And then again, really pull the legs out and down. This side is way tighter for me, so again, just be super curious where you're at. And try and breathe into the stretch. Breathe into where you feel it the most. For 3, 2, last deep breath, relax the face, the shoulders, the belly, 1, and release. Nice work again, just give yourself some freestyle. Hug the knees in towards the chest. And then we'll take a rock and roll to come up to seated. And this might be where you want to set up a block or a blanket, it's up to you. And I'm going to take my favourite with a little bit of a twist on as well, or we'll add a little bit more on. So right hand to the right knee, left hand to the left sole of the foot. Actually no, I've changed my mind this time. Let's take the right hand to the little toe side of the foot and the left hand to the sole of the foot. We're going to use both hands to give it a bit of a stir. It can actually be a little bit easier or a little bit more stable to use both hands. Nice, so give that pot a big or a small stir and then switch directions. Good, we can either stay with this movement or we can take the sole of the foot or the shin so it's facing away from the body, and then like a phone call action, I'm going to bend the foot or the knee so the foot comes closer to the right ear and then straighten it back up. Just as much as you can, just go easy here. So we'll bend this right knee, take the foot towards the ear, and we might have to speak loud because our phones might be very far away from us, and then straighten it back up. So bend and straighten, try and straighten through the spine, which is the hardest bit. Bend and straighten, don't strain too much here. Last time. And straighten, good. And then take that shin in towards the body, either stay here, give it a little rock side to side, or take the sole of the foot into the crook of the elbow and rock the baby. Try and stay up nice and straight. Beautiful. And let that go. Well done. Take the feet hips width apart and just knock the knees from side to side. Nice. And then the other side, so the right ankle comes in towards the body. Take the hands, so the clasp around the foot, and again, a big stir of that pot. Trying to keep the right hip grounded the entire time. A little bit of action for the shoulders as well. And we stir that pot the opposite direction. And again, we might have a really small pot here. We don't have to go to where I'm going at all. Good, and then hold the knee bent and the shin out in front. And again, we're just going to try and take that left big toe towards the left ear and extend out. Or we can carry on with that circular movement. Last 3. Last 2. And last 1. Hold, hold, hold. Try and reach that phone. And release. We're going to come into rock the baby. Take your option here. Sit up straight through the spine and rock from side to side. Good. Let that release. Hands behind the back. Dig the heels in, feet just wider than hip width apart. Knock the knees in, side to side. I'm going to do a little bit of work here with these 90-90s. So this is a really nice option to stay, keeping the feet flexed and just knocking the knees in towards each other. If you want to go a little bit more intense, take the hands up off the mat. I'm going to shuffle. And use the strength of those hips to come side to side. If again you want a little bit more, I'm going to try and stay within range of the camera. I'm going to come to one side, extend, and down. Switch, other side, extend up, squeeze the glutes, keep the feet flexed, and down. And last option to add on, we're going to extend, and then we're going to take this back leg, so the left leg steps in front into a lunge, and then right leg into a squat, and back to this 90-90 position. Okay, if you get lost, don't worry. We can just try it out, so switch, extend, lunge, hopefully I'm within range, squat, step back, and step back to that 90-90, one more each side. Switch, lunge, squat, and back. Good. Last one. Opposite side. Extend, lunge, squat, and all the way back. Nice work. Good job. Coming back to center, widening the legs out into our pancake. My absolute favorite shape, just because I think it's so good for us, so needed. So keep the thighs nice and active, toes facing up towards the ceiling, clasp the hands, and we're going to take a big stir or a small stir. It's up to you. Nice, so getting a little bit of movement for the spine as well. I'll take two more in this direction. Keep those legs nice and active, don't let the big toes fall in, and then to the opposite side. Last one. Good, and then we can stay here with the movement, with a bit of fluidness, flowiness. I actually sometimes really like to keep moving through this as we come down a little bit lower. So bring the heart forward, move a little bit side to side, really tune into where your edge is with this posture or with this shape. And if you want to hold in stillness, please feel free. If you want to keep moving a little bit more dynamically, shoulders side to side, maybe the forearms come down, maybe we're on the fingertips. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Coming all the way up. Taking the hands underneath the knees. Slowly, slowly bringing them back to center. And giving yourself a big squeeze here. Good job. Nice work. And then we'll roll into tabletop. We are nearly there. Nice and short and sweet. We're going to extend the left leg back, point the toes. Tap the toes over to the right side, so in a diagonal motion. And then step the left foot outside the left hand. Big reach up with the left hand. Back down. And switch. Left knee meets the right. Right toes extend back. Tap. Step outside. Big reach up. Right hand plants. Back to tabletop. Good, we'll go a few more each side. So left, tap, outside the left hand, big reach up, and back to tabletop. Right taps, outside the right hand, right reach, and tap. Nice, one more each side, left tap. And into that lizard, good, we'll stay here, tuck the back toes, if that feels okay, lift up through the back knee. Just have a wiggle side to side. Really sink into this back hip, maybe a bit of a circle, or maybe we have the back knee on the ground with blocks by our hands, and circle the opposite way. Good, sink into that right knee, place it down, just a gentle bend through the left, pick up the toes, and tick-tock the toes from side to side. Back to centre, bend back in, plant the hands, step the left knee back to tabletop, and then the right leg, tap, lizard lunge, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and again just take some free movement here, maybe some circles or side to side, just opening up through those hips. Try and keep the spine nice and straight, pressing out through the shoulders. Beautiful, drop the back knee, straighten through that right leg, toes up towards the ceiling, as we tick-tock the right toes from side to side. Just getting a little bit of different angles on that hamstring. Nice, bend back in, back to tabletop. And then we'll take a narrow child's pose just to close the hips off a little bit, belly towards the thighs, reach forward. And then take the hands so that they are reaching back towards the back of the mat. And just take some big deep breaths here. Pulling the inner thighs together. Maybe taking a bit of a rock side to side. 3 deep breaths. Nice work, and gently come in all the way up to centre. Good, and if you feel like you want a little bit more, then there is also another video called 15 minutes to juicy hips. So go and put that one onto the top of this one. And if not, I hope your hips are feeling a little bit looser, a little bit happier. And any requests, please let me know. And if not, I will see you next time. Bye.